All right, here now is the former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee, also a Fox contributor, and the governor is here in studio with us in New York. Good to see you.
Great to be here, Connell. Thanks.
Do you think there's pressure, and I know a lot has been said about the pressure on the Chinese to make a trade deal, their economy, as you know, has been slowing down, but do you think there's also pressure to, I guess the point the Fed chairman was trying to make there, on President Trump to cut a deal so this doesn't drag on too long?
Well, I mean, nobody wants it to drag on too long, but what we're in right now is way better than what we've been through, which is a very unfair process. We've been getting played like fools for years and years,
right?
And it has really had an impact on American workers and the American economy. The president's playing it right. He's playing hardball.
Because with the tariffs, sometimes in the short term, you go through some pain, right?
Sure.
The president's talked about this. And, you know, I've been out in Iowa a couple times in the last year talking to farmers there, and I was almost, when I was there, surprised to see that they were, for the most part, not all, but for the most part, they were okay with that as long as there was a long-term deal that was favorable to them, because to your point, they thought something needed to be done. I'm just wondering how long that can go on for before there's too much pain for them. And that's
I think the Chinese are going to fold before we do, because their economy is the one that's struggling even more than ours. I mean, we still have great employment numbers. We've got good stock market overall. Our economy is way better off than the Chinese economy. They can't afford for this to keep going. And deep down, they have to know the gig is up. They can't keep doing what they've been doing. They have had a succession of U.S. presidents and trade representatives that have looked the other way because of globalism and because they just thought, well, it's okay because a lot of American businesses want them to be okay with it.
Right.
President Trump has come with a very different perspective, and thank God he has, because it's turning around not just the U.S. and China situation, but the entire global situation to make it a real market economy.
Yeah, we'll see if they get a deal before the next deadline. Now, when you're here in studio, Governor, we like to get the most for our money, as many political topics as possible. And I want to get your take on this. And you take a look at the former Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz getting a lot of attention this week and facing some backlash, to put it mildly, from Democrats over potentially running for president as an independent. Should they, though, be as worried as they apparently are? Schultz spoke to Fox News and Dana Perino earlier today and said this.
It's a very strong possibility that more lifelong Republicans who will have no place to go if there is a left-leaning, liberal, progressive Democrat, they will vote for Donald Trump. It's very possible if they had a better choice, someone in the middle who can speak to their values, they would vote for someone like me.
Okay, so you know conventional wisdom has been, and sometimes it's wrong, but conventional wisdom has been he will take votes away from Democrats. That's why they are. They're beside themselves, some of them. But he makes that argument that he could take some Trump voters.
Good luck. He's not going to. That's just simply not going to happen, because he's left of center. Everybody knows he is. He might get some in the John Kasich wing of the party.
Well, I was going to say that never Trump type of crowd.
That's right. But all of those people couldn't fill this studio. I mean, we're not talking about a lot of Republicans, because Republicans generally, even some that weren't for Trump during the election and have had misgivings about him and may not even like him personally, they cannot ignore the fact that on judicial appointments, on the economy, on trade, he has behaved far more the conservative Republican than any of the conservative Republicans we've ever had.
Well, I thought it was funny when Dana asked Howard Schultz about the economy. I thought he might give President Trump some credit for the strong. No, he didn't. I thought he would give him some credit for the strong economy and then maybe attack him, you know, as he did on moral issues or whatever the case may be, on personal grounds. But he didn't. He said that, you know, the corporate tax cut was a mistake, and he said the president shouldn't be using the stock market as a proxy for the economy. What do you think of that strategy?
Well, I thought if he's going after Republican votes, I mean, what kind of bait is he using for the fish here? I mean, he's throwing out concrete and hoping that the fish bite it. They're not that dumb. So the one thing Republicans would like would be somebody who believes in tax cuts and deregulation, something the president has delivered on. And here he is trashing the president for doing the very things that Republicans typically like and have been successful. Look, let me be very clear. Howard Schultz is a very talented guy, smart guy. I have a great deal of respect for him, especially his business savvy. The political mistake that he's making is this. If he were in the Democratic primary, he has that middle ground all to himself.
Maybe Mike Bloomberg. Or
if he runs, I don't know that he will, but he could potentially have the flank, and then he gets all of those votes who don't want to go far left. But by going out there and being an independent, he becomes a spoiler. He helps Donald Trump, so I hope he runs as an independent.
Interesting. Enjoy the weather here in New York.
Oh, lovely weather. Going back to Florida.